Hello, welcome to your special spring readings. The vernal equinox marks the time of year to the seasonal shift into spring, bringing in warmer weather in the northern hemisphere and the commencement of the winter thaw. Of course, in the southern hemisphere, it is the beginning of autumn. Spring officially starts on March 20th at 3:29 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The equinox means equal amount of day and night. Equa meaning equal, and nox meaning night in Latin. This is where astrologers set the marking point of 0 degrees Aries, creating the Western tropical zodiacal system. There are many cultural traditions that vary as to when the new year actually begins. In some cultures and religions, especially among astrologers, spring is seen as the initiation of the real new year, being that it is based upon the nature's season and not a man-made calendar year. But either way, it is an important time for us to awaken and emerge from the chrysalis of winter and put our dreams into action. Now would be a seasonally supportive time to honor your true passions by doing what you had envisioned during the winter months. I wanted to briefly share as to what I saw as being the most appropriate card to represent spring as the Sun card. And if it happens to show up in any of your readings, consider it a bonus. All right, so we see the sun as the bringer of light and warmth, which marks the seasons changing. We see the flowers here are in bloom, especially sunflowers in this card. We see this naked child as a sign of innocence and joy. And he's holding this red banner announcing a significant event that brings promise of hope and positive changes. We see the horse as a symbol for power and strength that the sun brings in its solar power. And finally, we have this wall here in the background, which is a distinct marker or barrier between one thing and another. In this case, it is the changing of the seasons. I may actually make a more in-depth video of this card's symbology on my channel's tarot tutorial playlist. But without any further delay, let's get started with your readings. Happy spring, everyone. Libra, for your reading, I will be selecting cards from the Illuminati Tarot for each month. The first card will be for the remainder of March from the 20th to the 31st. The second card will be for April, the third for May, and the fourth card for June, up until the start of the summer season on the 20th. I will then be selecting a playing card for advice and or clarification or confirmation. And lastly, I will select a card from the Angels of Light Cards of Clarity Oracle deck to see which angelic energy will be assisting you this season. Show me the cards for Libra. Libra spring. Libra spring. Okay. Major changes right off the bat. Lots of big changes. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, so all of these are major arcana cards, which is definitely heavy-handed towards fate and destiny. So things that are definitely come to pass are meant to be. Now, how you choose to respond to it is always like our free will, right? So you have the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles is a stagnation. It's a pause. It's a review and a reflection of, you're asking yourself, what are my next steps? I've done a lot of work to, move closer towards accomplishing my goals. I put in a lot of the, you've done the work basically here, and you're sort of taking some time to sort of reflect, review, and go, is this going to bear fruit? You know, am I going to see the positive outcome of my efforts? You're asking yourself, what is my next step? Okay. Now, right off the bat, you have the Death card, which is major transformation, major overhaul, letting go of the old, outdated, worn out things so that new things can come in. And this is all like on a big scale. So it's like you're kind of doing like a makeover of your life and yourself. Great season to do it because, you know, death is, to me, that's like a winter card because plants die during the winter. You know, there's not a lot of growth. It's just a time for letting go and sort of creating new ground, new territory to conquer. And, you know, with the changes that's coming, I see that there's like a horse here, right? It's the Reaper, and he's riding this horse, and he's sitting on top of a man, which is signifying that we all have to come to terms with the process of letting go. You know, your good deeds cannot save you from the inevitable. Your money cannot save you from the inevitable. No matter what, you know, classification you have in life, no matter what role or class or creed or gender or age, we all have to face change. We all have to face something coming to an end. Now, whether that's a physical death or a representational death, this is just what it's saying, is like there is a surrender here. And there is an ease to the process when you just let go and let it happen, let it flow, going with the flow, going with the tides of change. That is sort of your key theme for March. Okay, so April, you have the Justice card. Okay, so the Justice card is about, well, to me, this is like the court system, right? It's another very heavy, serious card, which is like, you know, your dues are being paid. Okay, so the court system, what comes up in April? Taxes, right? Making sure you got all your taxes from the previous year. That's coming up in your card. But the Justice card could also be about like parking tickets. It could be about official paperwork that you have to sign. Maybe there's some sort of loan that you're taking out for a business. Maybe there's, you know, maybe you're paying off, you know, your car payments. Maybe you're getting a new car. Maybe you're getting a new house. Maybe there's something to do with like official paperwork and contracts and things like that. So just be aware of that energy coming in, that this is showing up. And a lot of time this is a relief because it's like you could be getting the help that you need, but it's also kind of a pain because it's like there's tedious paperwork involved. Okay, but it's necessary for the following steps. So it's like kind of getting this energy out of the way, because then here in May, you've got the Chariot card. Guns blazing, moving forward, determined. Like this is like fast forward movement. I feel like this is like long distance, like long term, long distance. There is a word that I'm looking for in my mind that is evading me, but it's about like big positive movement forward, like covering lots of ground. This word is still evading me, but either way, it's like this determined energy of the car. And I did say new car. The Chariot is a car, it's a vehicle. So some of you could be signing paperwork like getting a new car. Maybe your old car had a lot of problems with it, mechanical problems. It's like time to say goodbye, right? That's a possibility. New property coming in, new cars coming in, new resources, moving you forward. in life and making lots of headway. Okay. Then the last major arcana card is the High Priestess, which is about rest. Like this is a lot of change. And the High Priestess is about like taking a little bit of time for meditation, for contemplation, taking time out, pay attention to your dreams. Here coming in June, they're going to be revealing some information to you that is important for your next steps in summer. Looks like spring, you're just getting set up for the next season of summer where there's going to be a lot, like you're going to have like a whole new cycle that you're just sort of, this is a transition period and it feels very big. Okay, so the High Priestess is also about occult knowledge, spirituality, things that are hidden, things that are not seen, okay? And they're not being hidden from you. You may be hiding it from the world, okay? It can be a card of just what's not being revealed, and maybe you're not revealing your next plans. Maybe you're not revealing your next steps, and that is a wise thing. She listens to her inner guidance. You're going to be listening to your intuition throughout all of this. You have powerful guides, you have powerful spirit guides around you that's sort of helping you with this process of like rebirth. So I see that there is something to do with like letting go, some sort of contract coming in or paperwork that's going to help you move forward and taking time to really like go within and listen. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing. Not getting a lot of details. Let's see if something comes up in the playing cards. Either advice or clarification or confirmation. I did see something else I wanted to share. Okay. Let's see. Show me Libra. Show me Libra for spring. Ten of Wands. You are almost there, Libra. You've gone through everything. You've gone through a lot. And I feel like Wands have to do with enterprise. It has to do with like, you know, business, that sort of thing. Again, the long haul, the long term. Tens are the end of the cycle. It's like you've gone through every single aspect of something. You've seen it to completion. And now it's time to start new. You just have to push a little bit further. It's like you're just 2 steps away from the finish line here. Okay. And it can feel a little bit overwhelming at times, but I do see that it's sort of clearing the slate for something else to come in. I also, the thing that I was seeing when I was shuffling this was, I always see this person as like, okay, they've planted the seeds and they're waiting for the harvest out in their garden. He has sort of like a garden hoe, which he's like tilling the land. Now, some of you may be weeding, removing, weeds, anything from the bushes that may be impinging upon or sort of interfering with the growth of what you've invested. Now, this is also true for you. You're maybe removing things that are standing in the way of your growth. Okay? And it's like saying that it's really time to do it. It's time to make that decision. Go within and ask yourself, what is it that I no longer need? What do I need to weed out of my life and let go of? Okay? It's an act of self-care. All right. Let's pull a card from the Angels of Light, Cards of Clarity Oracle deck for you Libras to see what angel will be there for you for the spring season. Angel of Potential. Love it. I hardly ever get this card, and I love it that it's coming up for you. Don't actually know what it means, so I'm going to read it. You limit yourself in every area in which you hold doubts about yourself. There are no boundaries other than those that you create. Desire and intention are the only requirements for success. Use the help offered from this angel of potential to allow your abilities, talents, and skills to expand to full capacity, bringing success into your life. Wonderful. There's so much potential that I'm seeing here with the Chariot, out with the old and with the new. And, you know, again, this is brilliant. You know, don't hold yourself back. Don't restrict yourself. Allow yourself to really embrace the potential of what could be, because it looks like there's some wonderful things coming in for you. Okay, Libra, so this was your reading for spring. Thank you so much for liking and sharing my videos and for subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the upcoming videos.